looking at these choices as an act of nurturing. Hello. Welcome to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purpose-filled lives. And today we are here to talk about the upcoming Virgo new moon happening on Monday, September 6th, and that's happening at approximately 6:51 p.m. Mountain Time. So 5:51 on the West Coast and 8:51 on the East Coast. So it will be Monday evening, which is also Labor Day weekend. So emotions could be running high this weekend. So if you don't have plans, I would recommend, sticking with not having plans. And if you do have plans, make sure that you really want to do them. Make sure that you're honoring your physical, emotional, and spiritual boundaries this weekend. So some other things that are coming up astrologically are we are still have Venus in Libra until the 10th, and that's really bringing up all of our needs in our relationships. And then we actually have a Mercury retrograde coming up also in Libra, and that will be retrograde on the 26th, 27th, depending on where you are. And the pre-shadow actually begins around the time of this upcoming new moon on the 6th. So it is kind of a long pre-shadow, unfortunately, and it will be retrograde until the 18th, and then that post-shadow goes until the 3rd. So we will be feeling this energy from approximately September 6th to November 3rd. So just be aware. Retrogrades, I think, can get especially Mercury retrograde, can get a bad rap. And in Libra, we're still going to experience some, miscommunications and technology not working and all that kind of stuff. But with it in Libra, we're definitely going to be challenged in our relationships. So more fun relationship challenges coming up. So it's good that we experience the Venus in Libra first, because it prepared us. It's preparing us and showing us what we need and what we require in our relationships from our relationships, because there will be more challenges with that coming up. And speaking of challenges and lessons, Virgo season is already bringing quite a few, and that is, first of all, part of the reason I kind of showed up raw today. I've been feeling very much like Virgo season is really just like shedding some of these layers of stuff, of things that we hold on to that are our personality or habits and patterns and that we hold on to, that we've become dependent on, or we don't realize we've become dependent on. And it's really having us kind of look at these things that we depend on that are outside of ourselves, that we experience in the physical, and it's really wanting us to look at that and realize that it doesn't really matter. It does, but it doesn't matter in the sense of anything outside of yourself does not define who you are on a soul level and on a spiritual level. And today I definitely had some challenges with the world, and luckily I had people around me to remind me that I'm not alone in my struggles, and I hope that you're surrounded by people that are reminding you that you're not alone in yours. So I'm showing up, no makeup. I showered, no makeup. I didn't do anything with my hair, because any of those things which I enjoy, none of it makes a difference of whether I connect with spirit or perform my job and my duty and my purpose. Those things have nothing to do with your purpose. Unless, unless you feel like your purpose is like to make people feel beautiful, that is part of your purpose also. But for me personally, these are things that are really coming up recently, and I'm really being shown, and that has to do with also my habits and certain things that I didn't realize I was depending on until I realized that they weren't good for me anymore also. And I will share more about that like down the road. We don't need to get too much into that, but that's just kind of what has really been coming up a lot lately. And all this really boils down to is personal accountability and responsibility. And that's a lot of Virgo energies. There's like a responsibility of this Virgo energy and so much more this year. And with this new moon, it is about your personal accountability for yourself and for your life. Like it really, these things are really having us examine our lives closely. Virgo's very detail oriented, so it's really putting our lives and how we live them kind of under a microscope, because we need to look at how we're contributing to where our lives are and where our lives are going. And it's a challenge, and it's one of those things where if you want things to change, you have to change, because otherwise we're just the definition of insanity, and we're doing the same things over and over again expecting a different result, and that's not going to get us anywhere. So I'm excited to hear like if you guys are experiencing these things also, and where it's showing up in your lives. So let's see what else the energy of this moon is bringing us, and how we can navigate this, looking at our lives under a microscope, going through things with a fine-tooth comb, clearing out old things in our physical that really don't serve us and are weighing us down. Let's see what's first. Ooh! Two of Swords in reverse. So I laugh because the habits and these changes that are being brought to the surface are not going to be easy choices to make. And they're not going to be easy changes to make. This is Spirit challenging us. This is Spirit pushing us to level up and to fully be embodied in our souls and our lives. And so the Two of Swords is kind of perfect for this, because you're gonna probably experience some back and forth while you're examining how this shows up in your life. There's gonna be a lot of this like, should I stop doing that? I don't know. I like it. It doesn't really hinder me, but maybe it could be hindering me in things in ways I don't know yet, until I like get rid of that thing or stop that thing. There's these things in our lives that are kind of taking up space energetically and physically, and they might not seem to be harmful for us, but they're just taking up this space that something else healthier and something else that's more purposeful could be filling in that space. And that's just kind of like how energy works on this realm. So there's gonna be, it's gonna be one of those things where you're like, I don't really want to do this necessarily, but I'm being called to do it, or I don't really want to do this, but I have to, because I don't, for example, like if you have to stop, I live in Colorado, so if you have to stop smoking weed because you have to get a different job or something, because some jobs test for that, It's a little looser here in Colorado, but there's still certain things. So just for an example, it's like, I know a lot of people who are, you know, high functioning cannabis users. There's no problem. There's not like an issue. It doesn't get in the way of them living their lives or working their jobs. But it could be taking up something energetic, and it becomes a habit, and it can become a dependency, and it can just take up this space that if the universe is trying to bring something to you and there's like these little like blockages in the way, it's about figuring out where those blockages are in your life and like what it's going to take to move them out of the way. So I also wanted to point out that, look at my nails, y'all. This is also about, I forgot to mention earlier at the beginning, this is also about just showing up no matter how you are, that you're perfect the way you are. It doesn't have to be perfect or look perfect. Many times you just need to show up no matter what. And this is really about showing up for yourself and for your life and for your dreams and for your goals. So, and that is being validated with the Judgment card. And I want to rename the Judgment card to like the Calling or something like that, Destiny. I have another deck called the Tarot of Transformation. It's from a local Colorado artist. It's beautiful. Thanks, Aaron, for sending that to me. And they call it Transcending Judgment, because this is really about like awakening on a spiritual level. So it's here's this like really tough decision that you have to make, that is not going to be easy, might not be something you want to do, something you need to do. But on the other side of that, once you finally make that decision, once you like rip the Band-Aid off, once you take those first steps, your path of purpose is just on the other side. The feeling I get of Judgment is just like this opening up. You know, it's like you're walking on this path, you're not quite sure where you're going, but you know you're getting somewhere awesome, and it's like dark, and then all of a sudden you just like, it opens up to like a beautiful like clearing, and it just feels like the heavens are shining down, and it's just like, oh, this is where you're supposed to be, and you know it in your heart and soul no matter what. But sometimes we have to make tough decisions. Sometimes there's forks in the road and we don't want to pick one, and you have to. And it really is about like what those decisions are in your heart, and your soul, and that that there are certain things in life that we choose. There are lots of choices we get to make, but there are certain things in life that feel like they choose us. And I believe that it feels like they choose us because we did choose those things in spirit before we came into this life. But there are certain things that feel like they choose us that we can try to ignore for a little bit, but after a while you just like can't ignore it anymore, and you're gonna have to like take that road. So these are those little nudges. There's like little nudges. It's like, you know, if you're just like, I don't know what that thing is, you know. If you really looked at it, you know, ooh. So rewards aplenty on the other side. I don't even know if we need to pull many more cards, because it's like starting off with such an indecision or such a resistance to making this choice, and then on the other side is purpose, and then on the other side is like emotional fulfillment. The 10 of Cups is like the ultimate dream life card of all your dreams coming true. And I love this validation for me too, because my partner and I are going through the same thing. There's certain choices we are having to make. We don't necessarily want to, but we're womaning up and doing it, you know, because we want different for our lives. And if you want something different for your life, like you can make the choices to move in that direction. And it's there for the taking. It really has been feeling like the last, month or so, the the universe is just in spirit is just trying to like give us what we're asking for, but we're not seeing it because it doesn't look exactly how we feel like it's going to look. And that's the challenge too of this new moon energy, is like just staying open and realizing that like it might not always look how you exactly want it to along the journey, but once you get there you'll see why it went that way. Or even the result of what you're being given, it might not look exactly how you think right away, but if you realize that you feel exactly how you want to feel, that's the reward. Oh, and then it's funny, I was like, maybe we should keep going. It's like we're starting over again. Here's another 2 in reverse, 2 of Wands in reverse. Again, the hesitation. I don't know. I actually don't even know if I actually want to accept what the universe is giving me, because it means I gotta take responsibility for myself, and it means that I have to show up as this person, and I'm not really sure if I'm that person. But you know, I want this path, and I need to be this person to take this path. So it's like, how badly do you want it? And we moved from like our head to our heart with the swords to the wands. Like now it's like, no, really, like this is purposeful. There's a reason. This is about how you are in the world and how you interact with the world and how you interact with your soul and with spirit and with your path. I always love when they're like, no, like, hello, nay. Like, come on, we're showing you what the possibilities are, but this is what you have to do to get those possibilities. And it's you know, there are a lot of things in life that come easy, and I know a lot of spiritual people that are just like, if you just have the mindset of ease, like everything will come easy. It's like, that's a small fraction of it, because you definitely have to have the mindset there, but you have to have the action. You know, sometimes there is certain like sacred sacrifices you have to make. I heard a great analogy on that show Girlfriends, and it's that show about four girlfriends, and it happens to be about Black women, and so there's a lot of jokes on there that are about their culture. And I got it because I've done hair for a long time, so I understand like how important especially like Black women's hair is, and how important like keeping the weave nice. And they were talking about how like the analogy was like, you can't swim and keep your weave nice. It's like, if you're gonna swim, you have to get wet. So like you can't, like, I want to be in that water right there, but I don't want to get wet or dirty or anything like that. It's like, you can't have both. There's a lot of this, like, you can't always have both of these things. So it's really about what do you want? What choice are you going to make? What choice are you going to make? Last one I'm pulling, Queen of Cups. More elevated cups, more emotional fulfillment, emotional nurturing, peace, calm. The nurturing keeps coming up, and it's really like looking at these choices as an act of nurturing, looking at these choices as an act of love for yourself, looking at your choices as care. Sometimes it feels like sacrifice, and sometimes they can be, but remember, they're sacred. And I just feel like they keep being like, well, if you really want it, you can have it. You just have to like really decide how badly you want it. So where is this path going to take you? You know, Virgo season's really having us come back into ourselves and restructure. You know, the first part of the Astro season and then Leo season was so fun and exciting, and now it's like, well, to get through the rest of the year, it's time to tighten up a little bit, just a little bit, tighten up just a little bit, and just really take responsibility for where we're going. Okay, I'm gonna pull you a postcard from Spirit for everybody, because I love these. Dearest you, miracles never run out. Look back over your life and you will see so many moments of synchronicity when all the right people, the right place, the right opportunities, and the right time just showed up without any of your help. Think back to how you felt just before a miracle happened. You felt you were giving up, but it was more like a gentle surrender to whatever was going to happen. We want you to know that miracles are being concocted for you and you will never ever run out of them. You just don't get to choose how they come, who will deliver them, when they will show up, and what they will do for you. All of that is our department. Spirit knows what is best for you and what wants to be expressed through you. You are incredible and amazing and a magnet for miracles. That would be a good mantra for you today. We're on it. Relax. If you only knew how much you were loved. Sigh. It literally says sigh on there. You are incredible and amazing and a magnet for miracles. Repeat after me. I am incredible, I am amazing, and I am a magnet for miracles. So truly these choices are about what can you control? Because there's a lot right now that we cannot. So you need to only focus on what's right in front of you. Only focus on what you can control. And you got to give the rest up to the heavens. You got to give the rest up to Spirit. And trust. And we've been talking about this for a while. There's this balance of action and inaction and motion and rest and trust and like taking the lead and trusting where you're being led at the same time. Okay? It's very much that like butterflies in your stomach energy. I feel like I'm constantly lately like just swinging between like excitement and anxious when these kind of feelings come up. So if that's what you're experiencing, like be gentle on yourself, but also be honest with yourself. It's just time for us to be our true selves, okay? And I know it can be scary, but I am here to help you. Emotional support person. I've called that twice in the last couple months. Emotional support person. Really good at it. And so for the new moon, make sure that you are, new moons are great times to set new intentions. So make sure that you're doing that. I usually only do fires on the full moon, and then I usually will meditate and I do a lot of self-care around the new moon. So take a bath, journal, yoga, meditate, light candles. New moons are great for just because that's an intention in itself. And obviously the universe wants us to self-care. So your self-care can also be your intentions to what you want from the universe. Okay? Thank you for listening to your general energy reading for the Virgo new moon. And that will be happening again on Monday the 6th. And then the full moon will be in Pisces, and that happens Monday the 20th. And the live for that should be, I think it's the 16th. It's the 16th or the 17th. And then Mercury retrograde is coming too, so hold on to your hats. Bunker down if you have to. I probably will be if I don't have to leave my house. So please go subscribe, please follow, please please share with your friends. Yay! I love you all. Love yourself. Take care. Take care of yourself. Hashtag self-care. Okay. Bye.